When you live in a haunted apartment, you deal with a lot of different ghostly stuff. I lived in a haunted apartment for 18 years. Some things are scarier than others, but all in all, I think it was a pretty timid place when it came to ghosts. There wasn't really anything really scary, nothing trying to hurt me, none of the things you see on TV. However, there is some stuff that was kind of weird. So the upstairs was always more active than downstairs. I don't know why, but there's just a lot more activity upstairs. And so, I guess at nighttime, you would notice things more often when you're upstairs. When you're downstairs, things happen, but just not as much. And like one of the things that happened was, it happened to me on two different occasions. The first time, it happened after living there for at least like 15 years. Because I lived there when I was a kid, and this was when I was like an adult, like early 20s. And so like what happened was, it was nighttime, I turned off the light in the hallway. I brushed my teeth and I was gonna go to bed. So on my way to my bedroom in the dark hallway, I stopped by my dad's room, because his room was between the bathroom and my room. And I started talking to him. I can't remember what, but I was just talking. And I started hearing like little tiny footsteps on paper. And it made sense to me, because we had a chihuahua. And we also had like a pad in case he had to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night. So I figured, hey, our chihuahua Jobin is probably just like walking on the little pad. It's just little tiny footsteps, it's on like paper-like material. It makes sense. Like I didn't bat an eye at it. So instinctively I turned around. I was looking into the dark hallway, not being able to see anything, because I didn't expect to see anything. And I was like, Jobin, come on Jobin, and I was like calling him over, but he wasn't coming, which is really weird, because he loved attention, and when you called him over, he'd be running to you, tail wagging, just excited. And my dad was like, what are you doing? And I was like, I heard little footsteps out there. I was calling Jobin so I could put him in bed, because Jobin slept with my dad. And Dad goes, Jobin's in bed. I'm petting him, and like lifts up his blanket, and he was petting Jobin the whole time. Jobin was rested right here, like by my dad's chest. My dad was petting Jobin. He was completely under the blankets, and I didn't even know he was in bed. So I assumed that he was out in the hallway, because I heard those little tiny footsteps on what sounded like paper. They sounded really delicate, very just small, and it sounded like a kid walking around. And that did not surprise me, because we have seen a shadow of a kid in our apartment. But I will talk about that in a separate video. But it was just really strange to have that happen. And the second time it happened was a couple years later, so a few years down the road, I got into staying up late to drink coffee and watch anime. And when I would go to bed, I had a routine. I would turn off the TV, I would go to the bathroom, I would brush my teeth, and then I'd go to bed. And so it was probably like 2, 3 in the morning. I went to the bathroom, I brushed my teeth, and I was going back to bed. And I guess I don't want my dog like towards my door, because he had went to the bathroom like in my room before, and I just want to prevent that. I don't want him by my door at all. So I had like a baby gate kind of thing, like probably like a couple feet in front of my door. And I was stepping over the baby gate, and when I was halfway over, my foot almost touching the ground on the other side, I heard little footsteps again by the staircase. And it sounded like little tiny footsteps. And I assumed it was my dog. So I started calling like, Jobin, are you there? Come on, Jobin. Because I was going to put him back into bed with my dad, because to know, like, the situation, like, whenever I would get up in the middle of the night, or whenever I would go to the bathroom, or brush my teeth in the middle of the night, whenever I left my room in the middle of the night, my dog Jobin, if he was out of bed, he would come running to me, he would beg me for pets, he would want to come into my room and hang out, he would be really excited to see me, he really wanted attention, and sometimes I left him in my room for a couple minutes before putting him into Dad's room, and putting him in Dad's bed, because Jobin can't get into Dad's bed unless someone picks him up and puts him in Dad's bed. And so, I, assuming it was Jobin, was trying to call Jobin over so I could put him in Dad's bed. But when he didn't come running to me, it was really strange because that's not what Jobin would do. If it was Jobin, I wouldn't even have to call him over. Sometimes he would scare me because like there was times where I was like going pee in the middle of the night and the door started creaking and I looked and it was Jobin like pushing open the door. You know, and like trying to beg me for pets as I'm going pee. Like, as long as I'm up and as long as he hears me, he will beg me for attention. He would run to me. He will be there. You know, like I never had to call him at all. But I like called out to him, and he didn't come, and it was really unusual. And I didn't hear him going down the stairs because normally when he went down the stairs, you know, since he had to kind of jump stair to stair, he had thud 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 like all the way down. But I didn't hear that. And he wasn't upstairs, like where I was, and it's a small upstairs, you know, like it's a really small hallway. And so I knew it wasn't him. It had to be that ghost child again. You know, and I don't know if that ghost child like wanted me to hear the footsteps, or if it was just walking and I just happened to hear them, or how that worked. But I did hear little tiny footsteps twice in my apartment in the same area, a couple years apart. It only happened twice out of like 16 years that I was there. But that's not the only experience I've had with a ghost child there. But more on that on another video. So if you want to hear about that, why don't you like this video, subscribe to my channel, let me know down in the comments below what are some of your ghost stories, or kind of just what you want me to know about ghosts, or your views about ghosts, and enjoy the rest of your day.